Chapter 41 I am not a sword cultivator, why are you giving me the sword of death? Brother Yi, what have you been doing all this time? What kind of place is Tiandao City? Li Fei asked, curiously. You know, he has owned the Tiandao order for almost a year. It can be said that he has been suffering all the time. He has always wanted to see what kind of place Tiandao City is and whether it is as magical as that person said. However, although he failed to go, he still felt that he had gained something by getting 13 enlightenment pills in exchange. Is there technology in the interface you are in? Hearing Li Fei's question, Yifeng did not answer immediately, but asked a question in return. After all, he did not know whether the other party's interface was the same as Shantian continent, a pure fantasy world. Since technological products appeared in Tiandao City, there must be an interface with technology among the thousands of lower realms. Technology? What is technology? Li Fei touched his head and did not understand the meaning of this word at all. Since you don't know about technology, there are some things I can't explain clearly. But you have to remember one thing, if you want to go to Tiandao City in the future, then from now on, if you get the best spirit crystal, keep it well. That thing is extremely important in Tiandao City, and it must be a best spirit crystal. Even a high-grade spirit crystal is useless. It must be a best spirit crystal. Yifeng reminded Li Fei with a serious face. Best spirit crystal? Hearing this, Li Fei smiled bitterly. He was so happy that he almost fainted after getting more than 200 low-grade spirit crystals, not to mention getting top-grade spirit crystals, which he had only heard of. At this moment, Yifeng suddenly found that the waste product of the day had been refreshed. Waste product, Death Sword Fragment * 10,000 inch. It's another sword intent fragment. It's not difficult to destroy it all, but you have to find a suitable target. Why not catch a monster? Thinking of this, Yifeng suddenly noticed Li Fei on the side and asked casually, Li Fei, are you a sword cultivator? Sword cultivator? Brother Yi, I'm not a sword cultivator. I'm just a normal cultivator, and I don't like sword cultivation. Although he didn't understand why Yifeng asked this, Li Fei still expressed his thoughts. Laughed. Hearing this, Yifeng grinned and laughed directly. If you don't like sword cultivation, then this sword intent fragment is just right for you. Isn't this a waste of money? Gulp. Seeing Yifeng looking at him with a strange look and smiling strangely, Li Fei swallowed his saliva a little uncomfortably. Stand still, don't move. As he said this, a large number of sword intent fragments appeared in Yifeng's hand, and just sensing the artistic conception fluctuations emanating from those sword intents made Li Fei tremble all over. That was the smell of death. Although he was only at the peak of the 9th level of the Qidong realm, Li Fei had experienced several life and death crises, and he could still identify the smell of death. Death Sword Fragment. Under the shadow of death, Li Fei suddenly thought of something and exclaimed with his eyes wide open. 1. 2. 3. Li Fei was numb. Yifeng merged the power of the Death Sword Fragment into his body one by one, and because of Yifeng's warning before, he didn't dare to move or resist. Although Li Fei knew that this thing was definitely a good thing, he was not a sword cultivator. Now that the Death Sword intent was forcibly added to him, he was numb now. Which direction should he cultivate in the future? It's not that Li Fei didn't know what was good for him, he was really not interested in sword cultivation. I don't know how long it took. When Yifeng added all the power of 10,000 Death Sword intent fragments to Li Fei, he completely spent today's wasteful product and successfully got a reward of 1,000 wasteful points, but he didn't get any other special rewards. Now his wasteful points have accumulated to 5,810 points. The terrifying Death Sword intent fluctuations enveloped a radius of several thousand meters, and the protagonist Li Fei was completely dumbfounded at this time. He didn't know what level his current Death Sword intent had reached. He only knew one thing, it was very fierce, and his current death sword intent was super fierce. But he didn't practice swordsmanship, this death sword intent was a waste for him. Once he returned to the sect and was discovered by his master, wouldn't he be forced to change to swordsmanship? Thinking of this, Li Fei was going crazy. He didn't like sword cultivation from the bottom of his heart. Brother Li Fei, don't be grateful to me. This is your chance. And I tell you, your death sword intent has reached the extreme now. You may break through to the sword heart realm at any time. As long as you work hard to practice, I think there will be no problem. Looking at the extremely resentful look on Li Fei's face, Yi Feng couldn't help laughing. Sword heart? Sword heart realm. When Li Fei heard what Yi Feng said, he almost cried. He remembered that the sect master had practiced for 100 years and was also known as the most enlightened person in the sect for thousands of years. He had just broken through his sword intent to the realm of sword heart some time ago. It's over. Li Fei felt that his future was dark. Unless he didn't return to the sect, even if he went to other sects and noticed the extremely terrifying death sword intent on him, he would definitely change to sword practice. He didn't want to become a casual cultivator, which directly became a dead end. Thank you, Brother Yi, for the great opportunity. What can he do? At this point, what else can he do? Naturally, he has to thank Yi Feng for his kindness. All the grievances can only be silently endured in his heart. Brother Yi, can I know why you don't absorb the power of these death sword intent fragments yourself? After the hypocritical thanks, Li Fei also asked his doubts. This is the death sword intent. Even if he is not a sword cultivator, he knows that this is definitely an extremely powerful kind of sword intent. I'm not a sword cultivator, what do I need it for? Hearing Li Fei's question, Yi Feng answered without hesitation. You don't need it if you're not a sword cultivator, and I'm not a sword cultivator either. Hearing Yi Feng's answer, Li Fei collapsed even more. Don't play with me like this. No matter which one of the thousands of lower realms, no matter what realm of cultivators, as long as they are sword cultivators, if they see Yi Feng and Li Fei both dislike this extremely powerful death sword intent so much, they will probably be so angry that they will vomit blood. Let's go. Next, you must have no worries, and release the powerful sword of death. From now on, we will walk sideways in this second heavenly battlefield. As he said, a huge amount of thunder spirit power surged from Yi Feng's body, and condensed 9 lightning thunder lotuses flashing with lightning behind him. Earth-level top-grade martial arts, 9 lightning thunder lotus. When Li Fei saw these 10 huge 9 lightning thunder lotuses, he exclaimed directly. He was a cultivator with both thunder and fire spirit roots. He had once tried to practice this powerful martial arts, but he spent a month without getting started. He knew that it was extremely difficult to comprehend this martial arts, but he didn't expect Yi Feng to have already comprehended this powerful martial arts. Chapter 42, The Extremely Arrogant Duo, Rampant. You actually recognize this martial arts? Hearing Li Fei's exclamation, Yi Feng was also stunned. You know, although he had used this martial art in Xingji sect, both Deacon Song and the sect master could only judge that it was a top-grade earth-level martial art, and could not even name it, and they all thought it was a martial art he created himself. I recognize it, but this is a martial art unique to my Laming sect. How do you know it, Brother Yi? Li Fei also reacted at this time, his eyes full of confusion, because he knew that Yi Feng and he were not from the same realm, not to mention that this martial art was a unique martial art of the sect. It seems that the martial arts contained in the martial arts jar include all the martial arts in the thousands of lower realms, not limited to the Xinjiang continent. After hearing Li Fei's words, Yi Feng also had a guess. Let's go. The next goal is to kill 87 peak-level Qidong Realm 9th-level monsters. Yi Feng did not forget the random task triggered in Xinghuan sect. Killing 100 peak-level Qidong Realm 9th level monsters in the 2nd level Tiandao battlefield can get a lot of loser points. And until now, he has only killed 13, because the number of monsters in this realm is too small. Fuck. Which world are these two guys from? They are so damn arrogant. I'd better stay away from them. I just glanced at them. They don't think I'm provoking them. I'm so panicked. I want to go home. These two bastards are too perverted. The Qidong realm is so terrifying. These two are definitely the pride of heaven. Along the way, all the cultivators they met, after feeling Li Fei's suffocating death sword intent and the 10 extremely terrifying 9-star thunder lotuses floating behind Yi Feng, all hid far away. No one dared to step forward to provoke them, and they were even afraid that the two would wipe them out at will. As for the arrogance of the two, they dared not have the slightest dissatisfaction. This is the deterrent power brought by powerful strength. Cool. Really cool. It's really cool. Looking at the fearful cultivators around him, Li Fei felt so cool in his heart. Although he had come to the Tiandao battlefield many times, he had never felt so cool once. I am arrogant, who dares to dislike me? Brother Yi, when will you come to the Tiandao battlefield next time? Let's make an appointment. Maybe we can meet. However, Li Fei did not lose himself in the power. He knew that he could be so arrogant now, which was also closely related to Yi Feng, beside him. Otherwise, even if he had the extremely powerful death sword intent, he would be surrounded and killed if he was really angry. It's okay to make an appointment, but I'm afraid I will have to go to the 3rd Tiandao battlefield next time I come. Hearing this, Li Fei was stunned and asked directly, Brother Yi, do you have signs of breakthrough? Will you directly impact the Rongling realm after returning? Signs of breakthrough? What is that? I can break through if I want to, and I either don't break through or I can directly reach a higher realm, not only to the Rongling realm, but also to the peak of the 9th level of the Rongling realm in one go. Yi Feng said seriously. Brother Yi, this is not the way to brag. How can I respond to this? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Li Fei also laughed awkwardly. He really didn't expect Yi Feng to brag so much that he didn't know how to respond for a while. Brother Yi is awesome. In the end, Li Fei only uttered these 4 words to express his admiration. 20 minutes later. Leave the 5 Qidong Realm 9th level peak monsters to me, and the rest to you. Seeing a group of monsters appearing in front of him, Yi Feng directly stared at the 5 monster leaders, and the 10 9-glory thunder lotuses behind him turned into lightning and blasted towards the 5 monsters. One 9-glory thunder lotus was seriously injured, and the second 9-glory thunder lotus was wiped out. The 5 monsters were just wiped out by the 10 9-glory thunder lotuses. Seeing this scene, Li Fei on the side was also shocked and twitched at the corners of his mouth. Those were all monsters in the Tiandao battlefield. Each monster was enough to fight against 3 cultivators of the same level. At first, Yi Feng had killed 13 monsters of the same level by trapping them with dozens of prison earth cages, and then directly killing them with the unknown sharp sword. Li Fei had not seen Yi Feng's true fighting power. Now seeing Yi Feng's terrifying fighting power, Li Fei was really scared. Come again. When Li Fei saw Yi Feng condense 10 9-ray thunder lotuses flashing with lightning again, he was so shocked that his eyes almost popped out. The higher the level of martial arts, the more powerful it is, but the spiritual power consumed is also multiplied. Before, Yi Feng condensed 10 9-glory thunder lotuses, and Li Fei thought that was Yi Feng's limit, and he was already scared enough, thinking that the spiritual C in Yi Feng's body was definitely several times his own. But now it seems that the other party's spiritual C is definitely more than just several times his own. After all, the power contained in each 9-glory thunder lotus is no different from a cultivator's full-strength attack. Dozens of cultivators from all walks of life not far away were frightened to see Yi Feng just casually kill 5 Qidong Realm 9th level peak monsters. Magic cultivator? And seeing Li Fei use various spiritual power martial arts to start killing many other monsters, but not using the death sword intent at all, and even without a sword in his hand, everyone was even more dumbfounded. You are a sword cultivator, you don't use a sword to kill the enemy, you don't use sword-related martial arts, are those monsters not worthy of you using a sword? If Li Fei knew what everyone was thinking, he would definitely yell, I am not a sword cultivator, I am just a porter of sword intent. In the next 2 days, Yi Feng and Li Fei wandered around the battlefield of Heavenly Dao frantically, constantly looking for the peak level of the 9th level of Qidong Realm. Later, when they encountered a group of monsters, they were too lazy to kill them, thinking it was a waste of time. As for the benefits of those monsters, Yi Feng didn't care. Li Fei not only got more than 200 low-grade spirit crystals by chance, but also got 13 enlightenment pills and the terrifying death sword intent. In addition, he was a little infected by following Yi Feng, so he didn't care about that little benefit. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully killing 100 Qidong Realm 9th level peak monsters in the 2nd level Tiandao battlefield and obtaining 5,000 prodigal points. Peng. As Yi Feng killed the 100th Qidong Realm 9th level peak monster, the system's prompt sound also rang. Over 10,000. With the 5,000 prodigal points obtained, Yi Feng's current prodigal points finally exceeded 10,000, reaching 10,810 points. System, look at this little fat guy running around for me these 2 days, shouldn't I give him some respect? It's not too much to give him 100,000 top-grade spirit stones. It's been a long time since the prodigal behavior was triggered, and Yi Feng really wanted to give Li Fei some rewards. In the past 2 days, the other party did all the small things such as cutting monster meat, roasting monster meat, and finding temporary housing. He was like a big boss, and basically didn't need to worry about anything. Chapter 43 Killing Spree, You All Must Die. Ding. Too many, not in line with the price standard. What about 10,000 top-grade spirit stones? For this matter, Yi Feng was too lazy to bargain with the system, and directly reduced the price by 10 times. Ding. The opponent has the ultimate death sword intent, the number is reasonable. Could it be that the strength of different cultivators and events is a standard for judging the number of spirit stones? Yi Feng also had such a guess at this time. Brother Yi, it has been almost 2 months since I came to the Tiandao battlefield. According to the sect's rules, I have to return to the Tianhen realm. At this time, Li Fei's face was full of reluctance. It was really great to be with Yi Feng. Your sect also set a date. Yi Feng was a little puzzled about this matter. Brother Yi, 2 months is the deadline. If you don't leave the Tiandao battlefield and return to the sect will think that you died in the Tiandao battlefield. Most of the cultivators from all walks of life actually have a time limit, unless they are casual cultivators. Li Fei saw that Yi Feng was puzzled, and he also explained. So that's it. Meeting is fate. You have helped me a lot in the past 2 days. Take these 10,000 top-grade spirit stones. We will meet again in the future. After putting the space ring containing 10,000 top-grade spirit stones in Li Fei's hand, Yi Feng turned around and left freely. Brother Yi, you are my benefactor, and we will meet again in the future. Looking at Yi Feng's back, Li Fei tightly grasped the space ring in his hand, silently chanted to leave. The space around him began to distort, and his figure gradually disappeared from the spot. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully spending money, reward 200 spending points, reward death sword fragments *10,000. Fuck. Hearing the system prompt sound in his mind, especially the special rewards he received, Yi Feng couldn't help but swear. He just spent 10,000 death sword fragments, and another 10,000? This is a system reward. Even if you spend it in a wasteful way, you won't get wasteful points. In this case, use it yourself. Thinking of this, Yifeng took out a handful of death sword fragments from the system space and began to merge them himself. And a few hundred meters away to the east of Yifeng, hundreds of cultivators gathered. The fat man with the terrifying death sword has left. Now only the arrogant guy is left, and he has consumed a lot of spiritual energy in the past 2 days. To be honest, the amount of spiritual energy contained in his body is really terrifying, but I have never seen him practice to restore the lost spiritual energy. I think this is an opportunity for us. No matter which interface he comes from, he is definitely the pride of that interface. Many of us are ordinary cultivators. There is an opportunity to kill the pride in front of you. Do you really want to miss it? A white-haired young man made a sinister suggestion to hundreds of people. Kill the pride. When everyone heard this, their hearts were shaken. In their respective realms, not only were their own strengths low, but a genius as terrifying as this was definitely one they looked up to. Now that there was a chance to kill the genius, it would be a lie to say they were not tempted. The most important thing is that there are more than 300 people gathered here, among which there are more than 100 cultivators at the peak of the 9th level of the Qidong realm. No matter how strong one person is, can he still fight against more than 100 opponents of the same level? Thinking of this, everyone's expression was a little excited. They are not geniuses, but they can kill geniuses. This will be the glory of their lives. In a word, kill or not kill. There is only one chance. Seeing the reaction of the crowd, the white-haired young man sneered. A year ago, he got an opportunity in the first level of the Tiandao battlefield. From then on, he soared into the sky in the sect. Now seeing Yifeng and Li Fei, he admits that he is not as good as them, but he cannot tolerate the existence of geniuses stronger than him. That is a twisted mentality. Kill. When everyone heard the words of the white-haired young man, they looked at each other and gave the answer with excitement. On the other side. At this time, Yifeng was frantically fusing the fragments of the death sword intent, and the death sword intent obtained by the fusion was suppressed by him and not released. He was ready to release all the fusions and feel at once. Huh. Finally, everything has merged. Let me feel how strong the ultimate sword intent of death is. Boom. As he thought, a huge sword intent of death surged up from his body, and the terrifying state of death swept all around crazily. At this time, more than 300 people had come to a position less than 80 meters away from Yifeng. As this suffocating death state enveloped them, everyone's face suddenly changed drastically, and their eyes were instantly filled with fear. Death sword intent. Just the death state made them feel like they were in this situation, as if they would die if they made a slight move. They could not raise the slightest will to resist. When the opponent slashed with a sword, they could only stand there and wait to die. Not only did the fat man who left have such a terrifying death sword intent, but the young man who had been carrying 10 terrifying thunder lotuses also had the same death sword intent. Regret filled everyone's heart at this time. Containing a huge amount of spiritual energy in his body, possessing a top-grade earth-level martial arts, and possessing a terrifying death sword intent, does the opponent have any trump cards that have not been revealed? This peerless genius is not something they can provoke at all. You want to kill me? At this time, Yifeng turned and looked at everyone with an extremely cold look. One after another, 9 radiance thunder lotuses began to condense and appear behind Yifeng. 1. 5. 10. When the number of 9 radiance thunder lotuses reached more than 230, a small mountain of top-grade spirit stones appeared out of thin air beside Yifeng, madly absorbing the pure spiritual energy from the top-grade spirit stones. Yifeng began to continue condensing 9 radiance thunder lotuses. Take action. If you don't take action, we will all die here. With the shout of the white-haired young man, the people who were deeply trapped in the fear of death also suddenly shook, trying to resist the endless fear brought by the state of death, and all attacked Yifeng, but the combat power they exerted was less than half of the normal one. All of you die. Yifeng sneered, and the more than 200 terrifying thunder lotuses flashing with lightning behind him turned into lightning and blasted directly towards the more than 300 people on the opposite side. At the same time, Yifeng was still madly absorbing the pure spiritual power from the top-grade spiritual stones. Without spiritual roots, he could not perceive the spiritual energy between heaven and earth. As long as there were enough spiritual stones, he could constantly replenish the spiritual power consumed in his body. As long as the speed of absorbing spiritual power was fast enough, he would be a terrifying perpetual motion machine. Water Dragon. Hurricane. Fire Dragon Fist. Yifeng also madly performed the other two Earth-level top-grade martial arts and the human-level top-grade martial arts Fire Dragon Fist at this time, not caring about the spiritual energy consumed at all. For spiritual roots. 3 Earth-level top-grade martial arts. Possessing a huge amount of top-grade spiritual stones to replenish the spiritual energy consumed in the body at any time. When the people on the opposite side saw this scene, they were filled with nothing but despair. They had no chance of winning and would even be slaughtered unilaterally by the other side. Regret. They regretted why they had come to provoke this peerless genius. As mortals, how dare they challenge the gods? Chapter 44. Damn, are you my junior sister-in-law? After a while, looking at the corpses scattered all over the ground, Yifeng did not react much. This was the fantasy world he knew. He is a spendthrift, but he is definitely not a saint. Since he is an enemy, just kill him. Fire Dragon Fist, are you from Tianhen realm? Just when Yifeng put away the remaining top-grade spirit stones and prepared to leave, a little Lolita in a purple dress blocked his way and stared at him curiously. Yes, who are you? Looking at the cute little Lolita opposite, Yifeng asked directly. My name is Luo Yaoyao, from Wanhua Valley. After saying that, the little Lolita laughed, and even saw Yifeng's shocked expression. Wanhua Valley? Never heard of it. However, Yifeng's answer made the little Lolita's smile instantly stiff on her face, and her eyes revealed an unbelievable look. As a person from Tianhen realm, how could she have never heard of Wanhua Valley? Are you sure you are from Tianhen realm? Then which sect are you from? Luo Yaoyao looked at Yifeng curiously and asked again. Are you checking the household registration here? Why should I tell you? After saying that, Yifeng no longer paid attention to the other party and turned around and walked away. For spiritual roots. The spiritual sea in the body is extremely terrifying. At the peak of the 9th level of the Qidong realm, he has comprehended 3 Earth-level top-grade martial arts, and his enlightenment is exploding. The Death Sword intention has reached the extreme, and it is possible to break through to the Death Sword heart realm at any time. Thinking of the other party's situation, Luo Yaoyao also took a breath of cold air. Once the other party grows up, he will definitely be on the hidden dragon list, and he will definitely be in the top 5, or even the top 3. Thinking of this, Luo Yaoyao rolled her eyes and chased after Yifeng directly. I've told you my name, but you haven't told me what your name is yet? By the way, don't you have a sect, so you suddenly got angry just now? What are you looking for in the Tiandao battlefield? Maybe I know. Hearing Luo Yaoyao chattering around him, Yifeng felt that his head was about to explode. If you don't leave, I will really kill you. Unable to bear it any longer, Yifeng stared at the other party with murderous intent and threatened him directly, and he was definitely not joking. They were both from Tianhen realm. But you can't kill me. My real cultivation is the peak of the 9th level of the Yuanshan realm, but I suppressed my cultivation with a secret treasure. If you attack me, I will release my real cultivation and I can definitely kill you while being teleported. Luo Yaoyao tilted her head and looked at Yi Feng with a smug look on her face. System, is what this little Lolita said true or false? Isn't this Tiandao battlefield a very powerful existence? There is also such a secret treasure? Yi Feng was also surprised after hearing it, and simply asked the system. Ding. What the other party said is true. The secret treasure is the purple hairpin worn on the other party's hair. The system quickly gave an answer and pointed out the other party's secret treasure. It's actually true. Yi Feng also showed a touch of surprise at this time. How old is the other party? But he has already reached the peak of the 9th level of the Yuanshan realm. This strength is not weaker than his master, Luo Qianxue. My name is Yi Feng, from the Xinghuan sect. Now you know everything you want to know, don't bother me anymore. After that, Yi Feng no longer paid attention to the little loli. Xinghuan sect? I haven't heard of it. Yi Feng, this name is quite nice. Why did you suddenly answer me? I was just teasing you just now. You don't really think I have the powerful cultivation of the 9th level of the Yuanshan realm. The little loli looked at Yi Feng and joked in an exaggerated manner. Then why don't you try to throw away the purple hairpin on your head? Yi Feng looked at Luo Yaoyao with a hint of playfulness and said directly. When Luo Yaoyao heard this, her expression changed, and she looked at Yi Feng with shock. She couldn't understand how he knew that the secret treasure that suppressed his cultivation was the purple hairpin on his head. I underestimated you. I have never heard of the Xinghuan sect you mentioned. I think it must be a low-ranking sect. You must have heard of Xingji sect, it is definitely a top sect. As long as you leave Xinghuan sect, I guarantee that you can join Xingji sect, and I can also guarantee that you can become a core disciple of the sect. How about it, are you interested? At this time, Luo Yaoyao changed her previous playful look and looked at Yi Feng seriously and asked. Xingji sect? Core disciples? Luo Yaoyao, surname Luo? Fuck. No way. Thinking of this, Yi Feng suddenly had a very bold guess. Who is Luo Qianxue to you? Yi Feng stared at Luo Yaoyao and asked directly. Do you know my sister? When Luo Yaoyao heard Yi Feng directly say her sister's name, a look of surprise appeared on her face. Fuck. Luo Qianxue is my master, so aren't you my little aunt? Yi Feng was stunned when he heard that Luo Qianxue was the other party's sister. Little sister? Are you my sister's disciple? Xinghuan sect is the sect founded by my sister? Not only Yi Feng was stunned, Luo Yaoyao was also stunned at this time. 10 minutes later, when Yi Feng explained some of the circumstances, Luo Yaoyao was stunned again. My sister's direct disciple. The 6th core disciple of Xingji sect. The honorary elder of Xingji sect, his identity, status, and seniority are equal to the 5 great ancestors. Is the identity so complicated? Then should I call you nephew or elder Yi? Looking at Luo Yaoyao's cute little girl, Yi Feng was silent for a moment and said directly, let's talk about our own things. You call me elder Yi, and I call you auntie. I can call you auntie, but you, a little girl, call me nephew. No, it's too awkward. At this time, Yi Feng was extremely glad that he still had the identity of an elder. Who would have thought that Luo Qianxue actually had such a talented little girl? Come, auntie, let this elder pinch your cheeks. As he said, Yi Feng pinched Luo Yaoyao's cute little girl's face with both hands. Looking at the other party's fiery eyes, Yi Feng felt so comfortable, and the irritability that was entangled by the other party before was instantly swept away. What should I give to the little auntie when we meet for the first time? After pinching for a while, Yi Feng held his chin and looked at the little auntie, but he was in deep thought. It's meaningless to always give spiritual stones. Although it will trigger the behavior of spending money, he has given enough. Enlightenment pill? I have to give some of that stuff, but it's not appropriate to use it as a gift, after all, it's just a snack. Golden silkworm star shinestone? Looking at the body of the little lowly master, she doesn't look like a weapon refiner. 9-leaf soul returning grass, there's only one left, it was agreed to be a reward, and Elder Bai and Elder Xia are still waiting for it in the sect day and night. Purple thunder mad lion big fairy blood? Humanoid monster little lowly, I don't think it can be. Recalling what he has now, Yifeng looked at Luo Yaoyao and asked directly, little sister, are you a physical cultivator? Chapter 45 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, do you really think I can't take it out? Yes, I am a physical cultivator. I really don't know how you found out. Hearing Yifeng's question, Luo Yaoyao, who was still sulking because of being pinched on the face by Yifeng just now, was shocked again in her heart. For some reason, now that she was standing in front of Yifeng, she suddenly felt that she couldn't hide any secrets at all, and this feeling made her a little flustered. Really a physical cultivator, a little humanoid monster, lowly? Hearing Luo Yaoyao's answer, Yifeng was also shocked. This is incredible. Elder Yi, I tell you, I hate it most when people pinch my face. You pinched my face just now, but this matter is not over yet. When I go back, I must let my sister take charge of the matter for me. Before she finished speaking, when Luo Yaoyao saw a drop of monster blood in Yifeng's hand that exuded a strong demonic aura, her voice stopped abruptly, and her eyes, which seemed to be able to speak, stared at the monster blood. The blood of the purple thunder mad lion monster that has withstood 9 heavenly thunder tribulations, 1 drop for each pinch on the face. Since you don't like others pinching your face, then even if. Before Yifeng finished speaking, Luo Yaoyao ran to Yifeng at the fastest speed, grabbed Yifeng's other hand and put it on her poor face. Others can't do it, but you are Elder Yi, what's wrong with pinching the face of a junior? Looking at Luo Yaoyao with a cute smile, Yifeng couldn't help laughing, and pinched the other's delicate face, and directly gave the big demon blood in his hand to the other. Since she is a physical cultivator, is the little sister also a weapon refiner? This little sister is eccentric. If I don't catch her completely in one fell swoop, I'm afraid there will be big trouble in the future. Thinking of this, Yifeng dropped a piece of golden silkworm star shine stone on the ground with extremely poor acting skills. Golden silkworm star shine stone. As expected, when Luo Yaoyao saw the golden silkworm star shine stone falling at Yifeng's feet, she exclaimed directly, and even her whole body trembled violently because of excitement. Little sister, do you recognize it? Want it? Yes. 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 Hearing Yifeng's question, looking at the golden silkworm star shine stone picked up by the other party, Luo Yaoyao's little head nodded like a rattle. No. Yifeng quickly put the golden silkworm star stone into the system space, and looking at Luo Yaoyao, who was stunned, he couldn't help but burst into laughter. If Luo Yaoyao didn't realize that Yifeng was playing tricks on her at this time, she would be a fool. But what if she understood it? If Yifeng didn't give it to her, could she still snatch it away? It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. Now the other party is not only Elder Yi, but also her junior nephew. How could she possibly rob him? Thinking of this, Luo Yaoyao was going crazy. She was completely controlled by Yifeng. She didn't understand how Yifeng could have so many good things. Elder Yi, how did you become my sister's direct disciple? Also, how did you become an honorary elder of Xingji sect? In order to ease the awkward situation at this time, Luo Yaoyao directly shifted her attention. Moreover, she really wanted to know the answers to these 2 questions. How could her sister, who didn't care about anything since she was a child and was obsessed with cultivation every day, accept a direct disciple? After all, Xingji sect is a top sect. Except for a very small part of transcendent forces, it is definitely a giant. With Yifeng's current strength, how can he get the status of an honorary elder? Because I have money. I bought the status of a direct disciple from your sister with 500,000 high-quality spirit stones. I bought the status of an honorary elder from this sect with 100 million top-quality spirit crystals and the enhanced 9 Swords Formation secret manual. Ah? After hearing Yifeng's words, Luo Yaoyao wondered if there was something wrong with her ears. Can you buy a direct disciple? Can you buy the status of an honorary elder from the sect? How ridiculous. Have you ever seen a top-quality spirit crystal? You asked for 100 million top-grade spirit crystals right away. Do you know what that means? At this moment, a disdainful voice came from not far away, and then a middle-aged woman with a charming demeanor came from a distance, looking at Yifeng with disdain. Master. When Luo Yaoyao saw the person coming, she immediately shouted respectfully. I am the master of Wanhua Valley. Don't you like to use spirit stones and spirit crystals to buy special identities? As long as you can take out 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, this master will worship you as his master and give you another prominent identity. How about that? Hua Yiming looked at Yifeng and continued with disdain. Seeing the aggressive Hua Yiming, Luo Yaoyao also hurriedly looked at Yifeng and explained, Elder Yi, my master hates bragging the most in her life. Don't mind it, she has no ill intentions. One is the master, and the other is her little nephew. Luo Yaoyao now feels extremely headache. She has no way to deal with this problem of her master. It's okay for others to brag, but she can't stand hearing it. She once thought it was a disease. Yifeng looked at the aggressive Hua Yiming, and his face gradually became ugly. Although he wanted to give his little nephew this face, the other party's strong attitude made him extremely unhappy. Little sister, your master is too much of a bully. I can't give you this face. As he said that, Yifeng took out a space ring containing 100 million top-grade spirit crystals and threw it to Hua Yiming, saying with a sneer, Good disciple, these 100 million top-grade spirit crystals are the gift from your master. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully pretending to be awesome and slapping the face. Rewards, 10 golden silkworm star shine stones, 100 purple thunder lion blood essence, 5 sword heart advancement fragments. Fuck. Can you get rewards for this? This is not a wasteful behavior, so even if Yifeng used 100 million top-grade spirit crystals, he didn't ask the system. Anyway, the system has unlimited supply, not a wasteful behavior. No matter how much he uses, he will neither deduct nor gain wasteful points. But he didn't expect that he could actually trigger the reward for pretending to be awesome and slapping the face. The time is too short. The time from rebirth to this fantasy world is still too short. He feels that there are still many hidden functions in the system that he has not discovered. When Hua Yiming saw the densely packed top-grade spiritual crystals and the space ring in her hand, she was stunned. Top-grade spiritual crystals, even in the Wanhua Valley, which has been passed down for tens of thousands of years, have a reserve of less than 10 million. After all, even in the battlefield of heaven and earth, it is extremely difficult to find top-grade spiritual crystals, even if one top-grade spirit crystal can be exchanged for 100 high-grade spirit crystals. If you want to exchange 100 high-grade spirit crystals for one top-grade spirit crystal, no one will exchange them. Chapter 46, Disciples of the Prodigal Sect will surely be spread all over the myriad interfaces. Impossible. How could you have so many top-grade spirit crystals? Even though 100 million top-grade spirit crystals were already in front of her, Hua Yiming still couldn't believe it was true. Wanhua Valley is a transcendent force, and even so, there are only about 10 million top-grade spirit crystals. How could Yifeng, a small cultivator at the peak of the 9th level of the Qidong realm, have such a huge amount of top-grade spirit crystals? Don't think I only have those broken spirit crystals. As he said that, Yifeng took out all the 15 golden silkworm star stones, 279 drops of purple thunder mad lion big goblin blood, a 9-leaf soul returning grass, and 5 sword heart advancement fragments. As for the enlightenment pill, he didn't take it out, because unless he tried it himself, no one would believe it. This. When Hua Yiming saw the treasures that Yifeng took out, which even Wanhua Valley could not produce, she was so shocked that she could not say a word. This thing is called the Sword Heart Advancement Fragment. As long as you have reached the extreme of the sword intent you have comprehended, as long as you absorb the power inside, you can directly break through to the Sword Heart realm. As he said this, Yifeng directly placed a Sword Heart Advancement Fragment on his forehead. A cool feeling emerged, the ultimate death sword intent burst out, and the sword intent continued to rise, and finally burst out. A black sword embryo shadow visible to the naked eye appeared above Yifeng's head. The realm of Sword Heart. The prototype of the sword embryo. Seeing this scene, both Hua Yiming and Luo Yaoyao opened their eyes wide and exclaimed, their eyes full of disbelief. After a moment. Huh. Hua Yiming took a deep breath, looked at Yifeng and said with resentment, I am willing to accept the loss. From now on, you are my master, Hua Yiming, but this only represents me personally, not Wanhua Valley. After speaking, Hua Yiming smiled bitterly. In the past 100 years, she didn't expect that she would fall into the hands of a little guy in the Qidong realm, but she was now full of curiosity about Yifeng. She couldn't understand how Yifeng could have so many treasures. It's over. It's over. Luo Yaoyao on the side was completely confused at this time. Yifeng is now her master's master, so doesn't that mean he is her master's ancestor? So should I call him nephew, elder Yi, or master's ancestor? Luo Yaoyao never thought that one day her identity would become so complicated. Master, please change your bad habits. You have messed up your identity so much. Luo Yaoyao looked at Hua Yiming, who was unwilling to give up, and her mentality really collapsed. Ding! Congratulations to the host for having the first disciple. According to the disciple's situation, rewards are given: Ghost Bewitching Grass *100, Soul Withered Branch *100, 5 Poisonous 100 Fragrance Flower *100, Soul Scorching Bamboo Water *100. Ding! Remind the host that the host is a spendthrift. This fine tradition must be passed on to the disciples. Encourage the disciples to spend money. According to the disciples' spending, the system will also give certain rewards. Hearing the sudden reminder sound of the system, Yifeng was stunned. Accepting disciples, there are rewards. Encouraging disciples to spend money, there are also rewards. Before, I was still guessing that the system must have many hidden functions that have not been excavated. Who would have thought that one would be discovered so quickly? But what are those rewards? Why do the names sound like highly toxic things? Yifeng was confused about those rewards at this time. Is Wanhua Valley a force that studies poison? Do you know this thing? As he said, Yifeng took out a ghost bewitching grass from the system space. Ghost bewitching grass. When Hua Yiming and Luo Yaoyao saw the poisonous spiritual grass in Yifeng's hand, they exclaimed together, because the master and disciple had only seen the ghost bewitching grass in the secret book of Wanhua Valley. Excited. Hua Yiming and Luo Yaoyao were completely excited at this time. If they had the ghost fasting grass, the poisonous bodies they cultivated could be further strengthened. Hua Yiming, today you become my first disciple, that is, the future senior sister. You still need to understand our sect rules. As he said, Yifeng took out all the remaining 99 ghost fasting grasses. Hiss. I thought Yifeng only had one. After all, this was a legendary poisonous spiritual grass. Except for the first 3 masters of the Wanhua Valley who had encountered it in the Tiandao battlefield tens of thousands of years ago, no one was found in the tens of thousands of years since then. But who would have thought that Yifeng would have so many? Sect rules? Elder Yi, do you still have a sect? After being shocked, Luo Yaoyao, who reacted, asked with a confused face. I guess so, but I won't open a sect. In the future, my disciples of the prodigal sect will be all over the Tianhen continent, and even all over the thousands of lower realms. Yifeng also had an extremely crazy idea at this time. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully creating the prodigal sect. I will reward you with 100,000 prodigal points, and enable the sect voice transmission function and the sect teleportation function. Sect voice transmission function: all the host's disciples, no matter where they are, can transmit voice to the host through their spiritual sense, and the host can also give orders to his disciples through his spiritual sense. Sect teleportation function: all the host's disciples, no matter where they are, can be teleported directly to the disciples. Each disciple can be teleported once a day for 1 hour, and then they will be teleported back to the initial position. Fuck you! Yifeng cursed directly at this time. This reward is simply explosive. It is directly 100,000 prodigal points. He has worked hard for so long, and the prodigal points he has accumulated are only a little more than 10,000. Moreover, the two functions of the sect are also very powerful. Wait. If the disciples I accept are from other interfaces, doesn't it mean that I can also go to other interfaces? Suddenly, Yifeng thought of a key point. Fuck, I want to let the legend of my prodigal spread in thousands of lower realms. Yifeng was full of energy at this moment, as if he had found his life goal. Prodigal sect? And let the disciples of the sect spread all over the Tianhen continent, and even spread to thousands of lower realms? Hearing Yifeng's words, both Hua Yuming and Luo Yaoyao showed extremely embarrassed expressions on their faces. Hua Yuming even dared not to announce the name of the second sect. It's also a loser. Wouldn't it make people laugh if this name was spread out? Hua Yuming, as the eldest sister of the sect, you must thoroughly understand the sect's rules. Let me ask you, after these 100 ghost bewitching grasses are handed over to you, how are you going to deal with them? Yifeng looked at Hua Yuming with a serious face and asked directly. How to deal with it? Is there any need to ask how to deal with it? Master, apart from what Luo Yaoyao and I need for cultivation, the rest of the ghost bewitching grass, without Master's permission, I will never use it privately in Wanhua Valley, and I will definitely keep it for Master. Anyway, Hua Yuming now realized that she already had a second sect, and these were originally Yifeng's things. As she said before, becoming a disciple was her personal behavior, and the things she got from Master naturally belonged to her, and none of them would involve Wanhua Valley. She was very clear about this. Keep them all? We are a family of prodigals. How can you be so stupid that you can't even understand the essence of the sect's name? However, Yifeng was instantly furious when he heard this. Chapter 47, Hua Yuming got it, and tried to be a prodigal without losing Master's face. Looking at the furious Yifeng, Hua Yuming was stunned. She thought that there was nothing wrong with her way of handling it. Although it was a family of prodigals, did she really have to go to prodigals? Besides, who is she? She is the master of Wanhua Valley, over 100 years old. Now she is scolded by a little guy like Yifeng. She is so angry and aggrieved. Are you afraid of the toxin in this ghost-bewitching grass? Yifeng stared at Hua Yuming and asked directly. Luo Yaoyao and I are cultivating the 10,000 poison body, which is unique to the 10,000 poison valley. The toxins contained in the ghost-bewitching grass are extremely terrifying. If it is just a little bit, Luo Yaoyao should be fine. As for me, even if it is the toxins in this ghost-bewitching grass, I am not afraid at all, and it will be of great benefit to me to absorb all of it. When it comes to her own field, Hua Yuming is extremely confident and arrogant, because she has the capital. In this case, I will tell you how to deal with these ghost-bewitching grasses. Before going to bed at night, shouldn't you take out a ghost-bewitching grass to soak your feet? After practicing for a day, you are physically and mentally exhausted. Shouldn't you take out a few ghost-bewitching grasses and put them in the bathtub to soak? During boring practice, there will definitely be times when you are upset. At this time, isn't it good to tear up a dozen ghost-bewitching grasses, to vent your irritable mood? Ah. After saying that, Yifeng couldn't help but sigh as he looked at Hua Yuming, who had a dazed look on her face. He felt that it would take some effort to train this senior sister he accepted. Crazy. Master is absolutely crazy. This is the ghost-bewitching grass, which is one less when you use it. If you run out of it, you don't know where to find it. He actually made me spend money like this. He is simply crazy. Master, there are only 100 ghost-bewitching grass. If you do what you said, it's not enough to eat for a few days. Although she was already broken down, Hua Yuming still tried to keep a calm demeanor and persuaded. If you run out of it, just keep eating something else. As he said that, Yifeng took out all 100 withered soul branches, 105 poisonous fragrant flowers, and 100 drops of soul-burning bamboo water, and said again, see if these junks are useful? Junk? You actually call these legendary poisonous spiritual herbs and poisonous spiritual waters junk? Hua Yuming and Luo Yaoyao looked at these poisonous spiritual herbs and poisonous spiritual waters on the ground, and were completely stunned. When they heard Yifeng's words, they were so angry that their blood almost gushed out. These poisonous spiritual herbs and poisonous spiritual waters did appear on the battlefield of the heavenly Tao, but the number and quantity of their appearances were too rare. Although they appeared a little more than the number and quantity of the ghost-bewitching grass, tens of thousands of years have passed, and even the Wanhua Valley has no stock, and they can only be seen in the secret books that have been passed down. These are all given to you by your master. You must not keep them. You can spend them as you see fit. Although I don't have any now, I never know when I will have a lot again. And the 100 million top-grade spirit crystals I gave you, spend them when you return to Wanhua Valley. Don't worry about the inner and outer disciples. The treatment of all disciples will be increased tenfold. If you need any cultivation resources, skills, martial arts, talismans, etc., buy them when you need them. Don't lower the price. We, the prodigals, can't afford to lose that person. But remember one thing. We, the prodigals, can spend when we need to, but we can't be suckers. Do you understand? Yifeng looked at Hua Yuming, who was bewildered, and was almost twitching with anger. How could he accept such an extremely stupid disciple? He can't even be a spendthrift, and you are the master of Wanhua Valley. Although he thought so, after all, he was his first disciple, so Yifeng had to give him some face and could only complain in his heart. Enhance the sex voice transmission function. Enhance the sex transmission function. At this time, Yifeng placed his right hand on Hua Yuming's forehead, and the two functions of the system were directly bound to Hua Yuming. Stare. When Yifeng took his right hand away, Hua Yuming's eyes suddenly widened, and her eyes were filled with endless horror when she looked at Yifeng. Hua Yuming had no idea what Yifeng had done to her. But she knew that no matter where Yifeng was, the two could communicate directly with each other through spiritual consciousness. Not only that, Yifeng could appear by her side at any time. It was extremely weird. Yifeng had given her an extremely mysterious feeling, and now that mysterious feeling was even stronger. What is the purpose of our sect? Yifeng looked at Hua Yuming and asked again. Spend money. Spend money as hard as possible. Spend money as hard as possible. After hearing Hua Yuming's answer, Yifeng's eyes suddenly lit up. He didn't expect Hua Yuming to suddenly come to his senses. When Luo Yaoyao heard this, she looked at the master she had known for 5 years. At this moment, she felt strange. Was this still the stingy master she knew? Master, don't worry. I will definitely remember the sect's purpose and carry forward the family's prosperity. Because of Yifeng's mystery and great magical powers, Hua Yuming completely released her nature. With such a mysterious and terrifying master, she could do whatever she wanted, not to mention how cool it was to be a prodigal. Good. 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 Yifeng was so happy when he heard Hua Yuming's words. With one more disciple to help him prodigal, he could get prodigal points and other special rewards faster. The most important thing is that he already has his own life goal. In the future, his disciples of the prodigal sect will not be more, but only better. And the Li Fei he met before is a good candidate, but I don't know if he will meet again. Li Fei, it depends on whether we are destined to be together. If we are destined to be together, I will accept you as my disciple when we meet in the future. If not, then we are destined to be master and disciple. Yifeng thought to himself at this time. Crazy. All crazy. Master is crazy, and nephew is crazy too. What should I do? Luo Yaoyao is about to cry at this time. Two people who are close to her are crazy. How far is she from being crazy? Little aunt, this is 100 million high-grade spirit stones. As long as you spend all of these high-grade spirit stones, I will give you 10 drops of purple thunder mad lion big demon blood. The requirements for spending money are the same as your master. You can spend money, but you can't be a sucker. Cried. Whatever you think, Luo Yaoyao finally accepted the 100 million high-grade spirit stones, with tears. What can she do? She can only think of ways to start spending money. It's really too much given by the nephew. How can my little aunt who spends money not have the heroic spirit of a tyrant and spendthrift? Seeing Luo Yaoyao accept 100 million high-grade spirit stones, Yifeng couldn't help laughing. Everything is developing in a good direction. Chapter 48 Everyone gathered in Xinghuan sect. Luo Qianxue went crazy. Master, Yaoyao and I may have to leave first. The secret treasures on us can only suppress our cultivation for 10 days each time. Today is the 9th day. Hua Yuming said a not-so-good news at this time. In that case, let's leave together. Anyway, there's no point for me to stay here any longer. Thinking that he had already obtained 100,000 points of squandering, he might as well go back and have some fun, and by the way, improve his own strength to the rolling realm. Junior nephew, wait for me in Xingji sect, and the little aunt will come to find you soon. When leaving, Luo Yaoyao made a face, and disappeared directly with Hua Yuming with a playful smile. Junior nephew? Fuck, the identity is getting more and more confusing. Thinking that Luo Yaoyao was the master's biological sister, he seemed to have become the master's grandfather, or called the master's ancestor. His seniority would also be affected, not to mention that he was an elder of Xingji sect, and his seniority was pulled to the same level as the 5 great ancestors. Shaking his head with a bitter smile, Yifeng silently thought of leaving in his heart. As the space around him twisted, he quickly disappeared in the Tiandao battlefield. Reappearing in Xiantian continent, Yifeng didn't know where he was teleported from, but according to his master Luo Wuming, it should be within 1,000 kilometers of the teleportation tower of the Tiandao battlefield where he entered. Let's find a town to determine the location first and then rush to Xinghuan sect. I don't know what expression the master will have when he knows that so many things have happened during my absence. Thinking of this, Yifeng randomly chose a direction and started to hurry. Xinghuan sect. Uncle Luo, why are you here? In the sect hall, Luo Qianxue looked at her father's friend and was a little confused. Why did he come to her, instead of reminiscing with her father? Qianxue, when you were a child, you needed a lot of cultivation resources, but Uncle Luo got them for you. I just want to ask you, am I good to you? Seeing Luo Kai's sentimental plot, Luo Qianxue became more curious, nodded and said directly, Uncle Luo, of course you were good to me. When I was cultivating, I needed some relatively rare cultivation resources, and you helped me get them. Look, I'm all alone and want a home now. I don't want to continue living that kind of wandering life. Can you get me a position as an elder in the sect? Hearing this, Luo Qianxue couldn't believe her ears. you're all alone? You don't want to wander anymore? Isn't this your favorite way of life? You can enjoy life freely? Even if you suddenly have some other ideas, why do you come to me when you want to find a home? I just founded a sect with only a few people in total. Uncle Luo, you are a powerful fourth-level cross-tribulation realm expert. I'm afraid my small sect will be wronged by you. Luo Qianxue also persuaded with a wry smile at this time. He didn't want to develop the sect. She felt that Xia Tianyu, an elder, and 2 disciples were already troublesome enough. How could she let Luo Kai join in? Boom! At this moment, a terrifying demonic pressure enveloped the entire Xinghuan sect. Swish! 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 Luo Qianxue, Luo Kai, Bai Tianheng and Xia Tianyu all rushed out of the sect with solemn expressions, while the weakling Wufeng could not move at all under the pressure of this terrifying demonic energy. Lady Saint, we are here. However, when the 4 of them arrived outside the sect, Chen Haoyu, Xia Tian, Zhao Tianming, Xing Fei, and Du Tianyue, the 5 geniuses, rushed directly towards the confused Luo Qianxue with excited expressions. Why are you here? And who is that terrifying monster? Luo Qianxue asked in confusion, looking at the 5 geniuses of Xingji sect and the young man in white who was emitting terrifying monster aura. Lady Saint, we are here on the orders of the sect master. From now on, the 5 of us will stay in your Xinghuan sect. Chen Haoyu explained happily as he looked at Luo Qianxue. From now on, the 5 geniuses can be with their junior brother Yifeng every day. According to Yifeng's arrogant and prodigal temper, what enlightenment pills and monster corpses will be enough? It is no exaggeration to say that following Yifeng, maybe every day is a great opportunity. You want to stay in my Xinghuan sect? However, Luo Qianxue exploded when she heard this. Luo Kai had just arrived and hadn't been dealt with yet, and the 5 geniuses of this sect also came. Isn't this sect completely messed up? How can she practice quietly? No. You 5 geniuses are the future of Xingji sect. If you stay with me, you might be in danger at any time. Xingji sect cannot afford such a loss. You should return to Xingji sect as soon as possible. Luo Qianxue could only persuade them again, she was going crazy. Luo Kai hadn't finished persuading her yet, and 5 Tianjiao came. She wanted someone to tell her what happened and why so many people came to her. She didn't want to develop the sect, she just wanted to practice quietly. Who was disturbing her heart and ruining her practice? Saint, we can't decide this. Anyway, the sect master said that we will go wherever the junior brother is. Chen Haoyu saw Luo Qianxue, who was about to drive him away, and he was helpless. He didn't understand why the saint had to drive him away. Junior brother? Who is the junior brother? Luo Qianxue asked in a daze when she heard this. Junior brother Yifeng. Saint, you don't know that after junior brother Yifeng went to our sect, he fought more than 200 inner and outer disciples of the same realm alone, became famous in one battle, and was even designated as the 6th core disciple of the sect by the 5 great ancestors. Speaking of Yifeng's proud record, Chen Haoyu was also full of excitement, as if that person was him. Don't worry, Saint Lady. With me here, no one should dare to provoke you. At this time, the blood-sucking mantis, which exuded a terrifying demonic aura, stepped forward and said with great confidence. Who are you? Luo Qianxue looked at the other party with a serious expression and asked directly. Lady Saint, its true form is a blood-sucking mantis, a terrifying monster at the peak of the 9th level of the crossing tribulation realm that has withstood 2 heavenly Dao thunder tribulations. According to the sect master, it was caught on the way to the heavenly Dao battlefield transmission tower with the sect master and junior brother. With it, no one should dare to come to the sect to cause trouble. Chen Haoyu explained directly at this time. Hearing this, Luo Qianxue's face twitched uncontrollably. Uncle Luo, I'm afraid your coming here is also related to my prodigal disciple. Luo Qianxue seemed to finally understand something at this time, turned around and looked at Luo Kai on the side and asked directly. Chapter 49 Yi Feng, you bastard, the sect is completely messed up. This. Hearing Luo Qianxue's question, Luo Kai also looked embarrassed and didn't know how to answer. Yi Feng. Seeing Luo Kai's appearance at this time, Luo Qianxue had understood everything, and directly screamed Yi Feng's name in her heart. Just leave for a few days. She couldn't imagine what her prodigal disciple had done. Luo Kai, a powerful physical cultivator of the 4th level of the crossing tribulation realm, came to be an elder, saying that he wanted to have a family. The 5 geniuses of our sect also came and insisted on staying by the side of the little junior brother. On the way to the teleportation tower of the heavenly Dao battlefield, he also caught a big monster. How could such a big monster be caught so easily? The sect should have only her and old Bai, but after accepting Yi Feng into the sect, the situation was completely out of control. The behind-the-scenes boss of Tianyu auction house is here. Luo Kai, a casual cultivator, is here. The 5 geniuses of our sect are here. The big monster of the crossing tribulation realm is here. Will there be more people or monsters coming next? Luo Qianxue didn't dare to think about it at all. She even planned to wait for Yi Feng to come back and never let him go out again. He brought back so many people and monsters in one trip. If he went out a few more times, she felt that her sect would be in turmoil. Saint Lady, come here. Although he didn't know why Luo Qianxue was so angry, he felt that Luo Qianxue seemed to blame all the problems on Yi Feng. At this time, he felt that he had to tell the news quickly. What's the matter? After following Chen Haoyu to the side, Luo Qianxue asked, with anger. Lady Saint, you must not blame junior brother when the time comes. After all, although he is still your direct disciple, he is not only the 6th core disciple of our sect, but also has been granted the title of honorary elder by the 5 great ancestors. Whether it is identity, status, or seniority, he is equal to the 5 great ancestors. Even your father has to respectfully call him Elder Yi. Chen Haoyu hurriedly told all these things that the sect master only told him before he left. What? After hearing this, Luo Qianxue looked at Chen Haoyu and felt that he was joking with her. When did Xingji sect have the position of honorary elder? I don't believe it. Then tell me, how did Yi Feng get the position of honorary elder? Luo Qianxue looked at Chen Haoyu and asked directly. She didn't believe that Yi Feng could become an honorary elder after visiting our sect, and with the strength of Qidong realm, and even his identity and status could be equal to the 5 great ancestors. The sect master said, Junior Master. No, Elder Yi bought it with money, but I don't know how many spirit stones he gave to the sect. Chen Haoyu also told the last bit of information he knew. Hearing this, Luo Qianxue was instantly furious. She never thought that Yi Feng would be so wasteful that he actually went to the sect and bought an honorary elder. Although she didn't know how many spirit stones were used, it was definitely an unimaginable number for her to be unanimously approved by the 5 great ancestors. At this moment, Luo Qianxue took out the sound transmission jade pendant. You little girl, you still know that you have a sister like me. After the consciousness entered the sound transmission jade pendant, Luo Qianxue laughed and scolded directly. She has always liked this eccentric sister. Sister, you said that I call my master's master, the master's master. What do you call him? What kind of question is this? You haven't contacted me for almost 3 months. It's not easy to contact me, and you ask this? You are my sister. Since he is your master, he is also my master. Yao Yao, isn't the question you asked too boring? Luo Qianxue felt that her clever sister shouldn't ask such a boring question. Sister, your eldest disciple is my master. He has accepted my master as his disciple. Now the relationship is a bit complicated. I'm giving you a heads up. I think the master hasn't returned yet. You should think about how to deal with these complicated relationships first. Don't ask me which master, Hua Yiming, the master of Wanhua Valley. By the way, he also created a prodigal sect. My master is his eldest disciple, but he is not going to establish a sect. His prodigal sect is just in name only. My master and I will go to see the master in a while. Sister, remember to prepare delicious food for me first. After saying that, Luo Yaoyao smiled and ended the voice transmission directly. Numb. After hearing these words, Luo Qianxue was completely numb. Not only did he provoke a bunch of people, but he also created a prodigal sect. Did you ask me, your master, about setting up your own sect? But thinking that Yi Feng actually accepted the master of Wanhua Valley as his eldest disciple, Luo Qianxue couldn't believe it was true. What's the difference between that and Yi Feng accepting his father as a disciple? The master of Wanhua Valley would actually worship a junior in the Qidong realm as his master. Can you believe this? It's a mess. It's completely a mess. Luo Qianxue was regretting her decision to die at this moment. She should not have accepted Yi Feng into the sect in the first place. Otherwise, how could so many troubles have happened? Many things were even beyond her imagination. After calming down for a while, Luo Qianxue tried to sort out all the information she had suddenly received, and then she took Chen Haoyu back and looked at Luo Kai and smiled. Uncle Luo, since you want to stay in my small Xinghuan sect, then stay, but my sect has no resources. It doesn't matter, as long as Yi Feng is here. Luo Kai laughed and said directly. Lady Saint, we don't need anything, as long as the little junior brother is here. Seeing Luo Qianxue looking over, Chen Haoyu was the first to give an answer. Elder Xia, please arrange for them. Luo Qianxue rubbed her forehead and said weakly to Xia Tianyu. Miss, what's going on? When everyone left, Bai Tianheng came over and asked in confusion. It's a mess. It's all a mess. Let's wait until Yi Feng comes back. Everything is related to him. I really don't know what he did during the days he was away. As she said that, Luo Qianxue walked into the sect with a gloomy face. The other side. Yi Feng walked in the wild for most of the day, and finally saw a town in the distance. He was delighted and sped up to rush towards the town in the distance. A moment later, when Yi Feng entered the town, he learned through inquiries that it was more than 300 kilometers away from Xingji sect, so he gave up the idea of returning to Xingji sect and prepared to return directly to Xinghuan sect, but thinking that he couldn't fly with a sword, it would take more than 20 days to return to Xinghuan sect with only 2 roads, and that was under the premise that he didn't take the wrong road and didn't encounter any special situations on the road. We have to think of a way. Thinking about this problem, Yi Feng wandered around the town. Chapter 50 Antivirus function turned on. Terrified old charlatan fortune teller, I am the elder of Tianji Pavilion, proficient in Tianxian secret art. As long as you treat the old man to a full meal and a good drink, I will give you a good fortune, only for one person. If you miss it, you will really miss it. Huh? While wandering, Yi Feng heard this and looked over. An old man with shabby clothes and messy hair was holding a broken pole and shouting hard. There was a calligraphy on the broken pole, the world's #1 fortune teller. Is there such an old charlatan in the fantasy world who is swindling people? With curiosity, Yi Feng was ready to ask the other party to tell his fortune. It didn't matter whether he was cheated or not, mainly because Yi Feng liked such mysterious things. Although he was an overtime worker in his previous life, if he heard that there was someone who was very accurate in fortune-telling, he would not mind spending 100 or 200 yuan to let the other party tell his fortune. Little brother, don't be fooled by that old man. He has cheated many people these days. Did you see his face covered with bruises? He was beaten by others. When Yi Feng was less than 10 meters away from the old charlatan, a strong man with a righteous face stopped him and persuaded him. "Thank you, big brother, but I just let him do some calculations, casually, and I don't ask him to be accurate." After thanking him, Yi Feng continued to walk towards the old charlatan. "Little brother, I feel that we are destined to be together. But I also have my own rules. Eat first and then tell fortunes." Seeing Yi Feng coming over, the old charlatan showed a look like a hermit and said directly, "No problem, you choose the restaurant." Seeing Yi Feng so straightforward, the old charlatan was also stunned, then looked at Yi Feng and smiled, and took him directly to a restaurant not far away. After entering the restaurant, Yi Feng directly asked the waiter to open a guest room, and even told the waiter to serve all the good wine and food in the restaurant, showing his wealth to the fullest. "Young brother, you are so generous. I, the old man, will not be polite." Seeing Yi Feng order so many good wines and dishes, the old charlatan smiled so hard that his mouth was crooked. Half an hour later. After having enough wine and food, the old charlatan asked Yi Feng to squeeze out a drop of blood, then released a trace of spiritual power to wrap the drop of blood, closed his eyes, and began to count with his fingers. This is exactly the same as the old charlatan in my mind. Looking at the old charlatan opposite, Yi Feng couldn't help laughing. No matter whether he could calculate accurately or not, this set of pretentious postures was absolutely perfect. Ding! The system scanned that a special force was checking the fate trajectory of the host, and the antivirus function was automatically turned on. Ding! Antivirus successful. Puff. Hearing the prompt sounds of the system one after another, and looking at the old charlatan who spit out a mouthful of blood and instantly became weak in front of him, Yi Feng was completely dumbfounded. Who the hell said that this old charlatan was a liar? He really has real skills, and he has automatically activated the antivirus function of the system. I have to say that Yi Feng has to thank the old charlatan in front of him, so that he knows another hidden function of the system. You. The old charlatan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth at this time, looked up at Yi Feng with a pale face, but couldn't say a complete sentence. His eyes were full of endless fear. Because Yi Feng was the one who really treated him to a good meal these days, Zhou Tong was ready to help him calculate. Who would have thought that just when he was about to use the Tianhen secret technique to check Yi Feng's fortune and misfortune for the next month, he was suddenly hit by an extremely overbearing force. Just one blow almost destroyed his soul. Even so, his soul was seriously damaged at this time. "Senior, I'm so sorry that your soul was severely damaged because of some special reasons of mine. I just happen to have a spiritual herb here. I think it should be able to help the senior recover his injured soul as soon as possible." Yi Feng felt a little sorry when he saw the old charlatan's look at this time. After all, he really didn't lie to him. He really wanted to help him calculate his fortune and bad luck. Who would have thought that the system processed it too quickly and he didn't react? 9-leaf soul-returning grass. When Zhou Tong saw the spiritual herb that Yi Feng took out, he exclaimed directly, "Little brother, do you know how precious this 9-leaf soul-returning grass is? Although it is of great help to my soul recovery, it is too wasteful of its medicinal effect, not to mention that this kind of spiritual herb is extremely rare. If you sell it to a 9th-grade alchemist, the reward you get will definitely exceed your imagination. Also, if you don't have the power to protect yourself, don't take it out, otherwise it is likely to bring you a fatal disaster." After being shocked, Zhou Tong did not take the 9-leaf soul-returning grass, but directly persuaded Yi Feng to put it away as soon as possible. Although his soul was severely damaged, taking other healing pills for the soul would be enough to fully recover in 2 or 3 years without any sequelae. However, this 9-leaf soul-returning grass is really a waste of one plant, not to mention that it is a 9-leaf soul-returning grass. This old charlatan is not bad. Yifeng didn't expect that this old charlatan knew the preciousness of the 9-leaf soul-returning grass, but instead of accepting it, he explained to him the preciousness of this spiritual herb. Senior, I know everything about this 9-leaf soul-returning grass. Just take it. Otherwise, I might use it to soak my feet one day. You don't know how comfortable it is to soak your feet with it. As he said that, Yifeng directly stuffed the 9-leaf soul-returning grass into Zhou Tong's hands. Soaking feet with the 9-leaf soul-returning grass? It's so comfortable? Are you kidding? However, Zhou Tong shook his head and laughed when he heard what Yifeng said. He thought Yifeng was joking with him, or using this excuse to make him feel at ease to accept such a precious 9-leaf soul-returning grass. However, thinking that Yifeng was shrouded in a mysterious black curtain, Zhou Tong thought about it and accepted the 9-leaf soul-returning grass, and immediately picked a leaf and put it in his mouth. Since he has chosen to accept it, he will use it to restore his injured soul. He doesn't need to think about whether it is a waste. Otherwise, if he accepts it and uses other methods to restore his injured soul, he will not be able to lose face. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully digging out 2 hidden functions of the system. You will be rewarded with 10,000 points, 100 9-leaf soul-returning grass, and 100 Tianhen secret art enlightenment pills. You are also rewarded? I wonder what rewards will be given if more hidden functions are discovered in the future. Tianhen secret art enlightenment pill. It seems that this Tianhen secret art is not simple. Otherwise there would not be such an enlightenment pill alone. I am afraid that the enlightenment pills I used before could not enlighten this Tianhen secret art. Through the reward, Yifeng also had a new understanding of the Tianhen secret art of the old charlatan in front of him.